Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. I hope you're having a super Saturday. We certainly are, because over the next couple of hours it is going to be all about the craft along, which is awesome. Something that I absolutely know you love. So many of you went for this when we launched it. Is of course our Christmas Floral Spray stamp and die collection that we're going to be talking about. Well, when I say we're going to be talking about it, the hottie Scotty himself is here with a fabulous project planned and a fabulous shirt as well for you.
Yes, I thought I'll keep the shirt on. Keep the shirt on for this show. I think it's going to change over the last show of the day, that is for sure. It's rather warm, rather warm. But anyway, let's dive in, have a look at our craft along. And this is what we are going to be making. So it's a take on an easel card, but what we're going to do is we're going to use the floral spray as the corner element. We're going to incorporate a little bit of vintage Christmas from last year. Going to do a bow, going to do a stopper, and just make an all-round gorgeous card. Good for Christmas time, but change the sentiment, and really, with the floral spray that we're using, it could be used for any occasion throughout the year.
Awesome. Is it too late for everyone to join in, Craig?
Not at all, not at all. So let's go through what you're going to need. Now, I am going to give you a little bit of warning once we go back to Joe, because there's a couple of things that you just need to tweak here. So you are going to need your Nature's Garden Vintage Christmas paper pad. You're going to need your cream texture cardstock. Now, in the picture, it does have the neutrals, but you just need a cream colour 12 by 12 cardstock. Some gold, either glitter or mirror card, Nina card, A3 Centura Pearl with a hint of gold. You need your Finesse alcohol proof flagstone. Ignore the waterproof Noir Black, you don't need that. Tri-blends, you're going to need your Alpine Green, Light Green, Gold Yellow and Fair Skin. So that's what you're going to be able to start to basically do the constructing of the project that we're going to make. But then you will also need some other bits and pieces where you're going to need your large Gemini, not the junior that's in the picture. You're going to need your large scoreboard that is missing from the picture. You're going to need your large guillotine. You're going to need some ribbon. You need some foam pads. You need your tape runner. And you need some gems as well. I'm using some pearls, but you can do bling gems if you want to, or just little gems. You will also need your chunky glue, as Debbie calls it, and your tacky glue as well. So apologies for these few kind of mishaps within the shopping list, but we will get there. That's what you're going to need if you want to make exactly what I'm doing. The only difference I'm doing, so you can tell how this show is going to go. I don't have gold glitter card. I have got rose gold glitter card. But do you know what? Still going to be good.
And I guess, Craig, you can mix this up, can't you? And do this with any of the paper pads that you have.
Absolutely.
You know, use it as a rough guide. You're going to learn loads of techniques over the next couple of hours that you're going to be able to use in this collection and a whole host of other collections as well. Now, we were meant to have Pam and Lisa joining us. Unfortunately, we're having a few technical issues today, so we can't have them live with us. They will be crafting along with us at home, and they're going to share a picture, hopefully, at the end. And I'd love you to share a picture as well. Anyone that is crafting along with us, you've got about 5 minutes or so before we get going. Make sure you send pictures in at the end. I'll prompt you to do that as well. If at any point as well you need anything recapping, then let me know. You can get in touch with me really simply. Crafters TV across on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe if you're over there. If you've not seen this collection, maybe you've never seen us before, hello, welcome. We get loads of new viewers all the time. Craft Along is what we do after all of our big launches to enable everyone to craft along in real time, which is awesome. However, if you don't yet own this collection, it is not too late for you whatsoever, because as with this show and all of our shows here at Crafters TV, you can watch them back anytime you like over on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.eu. So go for this today, make a note of when this show is on, and then when it arrives you'll be able to craft along too. Let me take you through what's in the collection. We've been able to repeat the launch collection as well, which is fantastic. So you're going to get all 6 of these, and what you'll get in here is you'll get ring out those bells, which is this first one here. Very clever these, because you can cut them in the left side, the right side, or you can cut them all the way out. It's completely up to you. Use the stamps on their own, or bring the stamps and dies together to create a different look and feel. So you've got that one there. You've also then got the Winter Blessing as well, which is the one that Craig is going to be using in this particular craft along. Then you've got your Festive Poinsettia. It's like the most iconic Christmas flower, isn't it, the poinsettia? Decoupageable elements as well, you'll see there with the smaller die cuts. This one here is your Christmas bow. You've got different sentiments as well within each one of these collections, which you will be able to mix and match too, which is handy. Then you've got the festive banner, which is this one just here. And then finally, you also have the Cozy by Candlelight as well. If you are a Platinum member, $57.56 or $65.09 is your price. There's loads of other great stuff in this show too. So I'd urge you, as always, pop yourself over to the website, hit the Shop the Show button, and you'll see absolutely everything that is coming up for you. Let's see who is tuning in already today. Julie is in from California. Georgie Ann's in Florida. Laura's saying hi. I can see Teresa. She's letting me know it's very hot and humid today in Long Island. Teresa likes to let me know the weather every day. Currently 28 degrees, Teresa, here in the northeast. 0 chance of rain and 0 breeze as well. It is very, very hot today in the UK. Miss USA Lady saying good morning. Deborah's here. I can see Sarah as well in Australia. Hi, Sarah. Patricia in Georgia as well. As I said, as we go through anything you need recapping, any questions you've got, get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're over on YouTube. But if you're ready, Craig, I think everyone else pretty much is there.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's get started. So what we're going to do, the other thing, sorry, apologies, it was also missing for that list, you're going to need your craft knife and your ruler as well, because our cardstock, when it comes to the A3, the way to cut it down won't quite go into our large guillotine. So what we're going to do is, let's take our Centura Peril, or your A3 card that you've got, and I'm going to do a little, I would do a pencil line, don't have a pencil, so let's do a pen line. And what we're going to go is we're going to do a little line at 15 inches. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to do it again up at 7 inches. So basically, we're going to be 15 by 7. And then what we can do is along the top, I'm also going to do a notch at 15 again. So then that just gives me a straight edge to cut all the way down. So I'm going to go in with my craft knife here. Now at this side here, this way it would go into your guillotine, but let's just use a craft knife while we've got it. So let's trim. Now with your craft knife, what I would say, softly and a few times, that's the best way to cut it. Now we have done our measurement up 7 inches there, so I'm going to do the same down here. We can go into here, and then what I'm going to do, I need to turn it at a bit of an angle so it's going to sit within my glass mat. And then what I'm going to do here is, because you can see that your ruler doesn't go all the way down. So what I'm going to do now is I can then go back onto my glass mat, and this is the great thing with the glass mat. I'm going to do this to this corner so that you can see it. So what I'm going to do is, if I line it up onto one of these grids, and then I can see this is the 7-inch mark. So if I come along, and then we can then come along into here. So what I want is a rough idea as to where the 7 inches. So I've put a little dot there. So then that means now what I can do is I can join this end to that dot, because I know that that's 7 inches. And then I'm going to go further down. So from that dot to that end line as a continuation, and then that's then going to give me my 15 by 7. So that is the initial start of your easel. So what we can then do is, let's go in with our scoreboard. So I'm going to use our large one. Now you can use the small one, you'll just need to turn your card around. So let's go in with our scoreboard. I'm going to go in with my scoring tool as well. And what I'm going to do at this point here is I'm going to score at 5 inches. So I'm going to score at 5, as if you're cutting, just lightly and a few times, and then we can come along to 10 inches and score. If you have a small scoring board, what you could do, Joe, is score at 5 inches, turn it around.
Perfect.
Score at 5 again, because that's going to give you three 5 inches panels.
Brilliant.
So you can do it that way if you don't have a large scoreboard. So now what I can do at this point is I can fold and burnish my score lines. And I'm going to have it so that the Centura Peril is on the outside. So what I can do is then once I lift that up, there is the initial start of your easel. So we can see how that comes along. So at this point, I'm going to set that one to the side for a second. Let's come in with a piece of our Nina cardstock. And what you will find with this here, each of these are basically 5 by 7. They're 5 by 7 little mats. So I'm going to come in with my Nina and I'm going to...
Oh, gosh. Oh, someone dropped an earring.
That was Sarah's Gemini tidy that sits at the side. It's not tidy anymore. So let's cut this one to 5 by 7. So then that's going to give us our initial first part here. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to come in with my die sets from the Winter Blessing. So we've got this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the right hand side one, and this is going to create my corner into the bottom right hand side that we can see here. So what we can do is if we have a look, now you can determine whether you want it more curved around, whether you want it further up. It's entirely up to yourself. But what I'm wanting to do is I want to come along and I'm wanting to position it so that we have got more or less it towards the bottom, just here. So I've got more of a flatter edge here and then more to curve that you can see at this point here.
And just remind me how big that piece was, Craig, there?
5 by 7.
5 by 7, that piece.
5 by 7, yep. So we can see how we've got that here. If I come in with my low tack tape now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to then secure that into place. So let's come along. So let's do it so that we are really towards the edge that we can see here, edge of my 5 by 7. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape that there, and then I'm going to tape it there. But what I'm away to do now is let's take our easel, and I'm also going to pop that on at the same time.
Right. Because
what I want is I want that to cut through twice so that I'm going to get that perfect impression each way. What I'm actually going to do is let's move it down a little bit further so that, let's just peel that one off. What we're going to do is the edge of this die is pretty much at the edge of the cardstock at the top here. And that'll stop it cutting into the other layer of the Centura Pearl, which I'll show you in a second. So let's hold that one down. Let's pop that one in. So if I had that die over the edge, that would have cut into the back panel of my Centura Pearl, which I don't want. So I'm going to line that up onto the 5 by 7, and I'm going to pop a little bit of tape down just to hold that one in so it doesn't move as well. Get that lined up. And then by cutting both these layers at once, it enables you to, of course, get it in the right position. But it means if you cut this top one first, then do the Centura Pearl, you're going to have to try and line it up so you're going to get it in the perfect position. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to layer everything up. But if you find sometimes you get little score lines or score marks from either your plastic shim or your Gemini plate, what I'm doing is I'm putting in an extra piece of cardstock.
Okay.
So what then that does is that will then keep the full card nice and smooth, because what you've got is you've got that layer of cardstock blocking any of these indents from the plastic shim or the plate transferring through onto your cardstock. So what I'm going to do is let's even just pause it and reverse it, because obviously we don't need to go through it all the way because we're just wanting that top corner to cut. But keeping in mind, remember that what you've got is you are cutting through a Nina card and you're also cutting through your Centura Pearl. So that's 2 thick layers of card. So let's remove this one. So let's carefully take that one off. So I don't need that and I don't need that. So if I then peel that one off, so it doesn't matter about this right hand side because that's all going to be waste. So I can get rid of that and I can get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip with my scissors along that spine just up until it comes to the edge of that card. Now what you will be left with is see how the die has come up, maybe about half an inch further up?
Right.
We need to trim that little edge there.
And I guess some people, this bit here, Craig, depending on how people have lined their die up or what die they've used, is it sort of hard and fast this? Some people's cutting line might be in a different place, I'm guessing.
Yep.
You just trim it from where it lands.
Trim it from where it lands and it'll be absolutely fine. Now what I'm doing, so that I can show you, I'm going to do a black line from the end up to where that die cuts. Now, if I'm doing this at home like I've done with the original, what I would have done is just freehand cut that without a black line. But it's so that for your benefit at home, you can see. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to trim along that line till I get to the end of that die cut piece. So let's just take that bit off. And now what we've got is two bits that are exactly cut in the same place. So you don't need to now come along with this layer here and try and work out where it's going to be, try and line it up, get it cut into the same place.
Because I guess getting the same angle would be a right nightmare, wouldn't it?
Be an absolute nightmare. It's not that it's impossible, but it is going to be a little bit of a nightmare. So therefore I'm going to take this one off. And any little residual bits, that don't worry, because we are going to be covering this back panel, so don't worry too much. So what I can then do is then come in. So there's going to be the start. So let's just fold and burnish again. So we've now got our two layers that we can see at this point here. So then at this point, what we can do is bring in our stamp. So we're going to bring in the main detailed stamp and we're going to stamp onto our Nina cardstock. So let's come in with, I'm going to use my 8x8 stamping platform. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to position it into place. Let's bring in our stamp. And when it comes to this craft along, there'll be plenty of opportunities to catch up because there is a wee bit of colouring when it comes to this one here. So we will come into this bit here. We'll stamp this one out. I think maybe at that point, Joe, if we do a little recap or something, because I know that there's been quite a few steps. So we'll do that in a moment. So let's bring in our ink. So I'm using our Noir Black, we're using our Finesse Noir Black. And what I'm going to do is we're going to stamp, give it a really good impression, ink it all the way up. Now you might not want to be using the Noir Black, you might want to use maybe your Flagstone, maybe your brown, it's up to yourself. But what I'm then going to do now is once I've got it where I want it to go, let's stamp and press. So let's give it a good stamp, making sure that we get a good impression into place. And with the large stamping platform, it means if there is any bits that you want to go again, then we can do. I'm really happy with how that looks, a really good impression. We've got that down at the curve. And so that you have a bit of a mental guide at the moment as to where we're going with it, this is how it's going to be along the bottom corner of the card. I think at this point, Joe, because I know it's kind of been step by step after step.
Did you want to just recap what you've done so far, Craig? Is that
Absolutely, of course I can. So let's take a spare bit that I have. So you would have your A3 Centura Pearl, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut it to 15 inches by 7 inches in height. Then what we've done, let's bring in my one. So this is where we're going to be left with a 15 by 7. We've then scored at 5 inches. We've then scored at 10 inches. That then gives us basically a tri-fold 5 by 7 card blank.
Awesome.
Now we've then taken our Nina cardstock and we've cut one piece to 5 by 7. We've taken that 5 by 7 and we've popped it straight over the top of one edge of the trifold cards. We've popped our die, corner die, from the spray into the bottom right hand corner and then cut through our Gemini. That's through both the Nina and the Centura Pearl, which then gives us this bottom corner within your cardstock, and it also gives us this bottom corner that matches perfectly over your Centura Pearl layer. And then what we've done, using our large stamping platform, we've stamped the floral spray into the bottom right-hand corner, and that's at the point we're at right now.
Awesome. Well, I hope you're all following along. Any questions that you've got, anything you're unsure of, just drop me a line and I will get those across to Craig. Emily says, is there a way to cut this in the Gemini Junior, Craig?
Not by the size of the Centura Pearl, because it's 7 inches in width. The Junior is 6 inches.
Okay, cool. Would there be any way you could sort of like change it or still use the concept, but
you could
adjust it?
If you're going to be doing it with the corner die, what you could then do is, instead of die cutting it, pop the die into place, draw around with a pencil, and then just freehand cut, or with your craft knife. Yeah.
All right, hope that helps. Such a pretty card, says Pamela. Melissa says, good morning everyone, just pop in and say hi before I start my day off cooking. There's a little frying pan with an egg in it emoji. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? Who else we got saying hi today as well and tuning in? There's loads of you. Deborah's saying hi from Long Beach. Gilmore's in from Michigan. Shadiah says, woo, Prince Joe, I love his shirt. Thanks, Shadiah. Pam saying how lovely it is in California this morning. Molly says, hello everyone, just stopping in to say hi. I have some weekend chores and errands to run. Oh, honestly, chores and errands. Chivixon says, the glass mat, is there only one size or do we do a small and a large version? I'm not sure, Craig. Glass mat, the one size, awesome. And Victoria actually saying, I'm just able to get the glass mat, ordered it with some other bits. Kathy saying hi in Ohio, Kathy. Yolanda as well says, I didn't actually get these stamps and dies, but I'm going to sit and watch this craft along anyway, because it's very, very pretty. You're more than welcome to do that, of course. Right, can I show you the details of the colour blend pencils? We've got an excellent deal on these. It's your opportunity to get all 5 collections of these. So there's 5 different sets for you available. This bundle actually gets you all of them. 120 pencils in total for £62 or $87. Don't forget as well, if you're buying anything today, if you're spending £30, you'll get £10 off. If you're spending $30, you'll get $10 off. €30, you'll get €10 off. So it really is fantastic. So it means you'd get these today for what? £52 or 87 or 67. Oh, I'll get this right, won't I, in a moment? I'm usually so good at maths, Craig. £52 or $77. Platinum members, if you were buying just these alone today, you would get them for $39.60 or $59.60, which is amazing value for money. Now, these ones I've got here are the naturals. Now, you see they'll all come to you. They are really beautiful wax-based pencil. They are, the pigment is incredible quality. There's no talc, no filler in them. They're absolutely beautiful. They come in their tins. So this one here is your naturals that you're getting. Loads of gorgeous colours in there, things like the pear green, shamrock, yellow ochre, the copper, the lake blues, all in there. Let me share with you, it's 5 tins you'll receive in total. So as well as these tins, here you can see all the colours that are in the essentials and in the florals as well. Things like the twilight blue, which is gorgeous. I love this boysenberry down here, the cherry red, and then this is all the colours that you'll receive in the primaries and the shades and tones. So you'll receive all 5 tins of those amazing pencils. There's loads of different things you can do with them. We've actually featured them in loads of our Colour Me Happy shows, which you'll find over on our website. If you are just joining us, now remember, you can go for these right now. Question come in from Lisa says, I'm using the poinsettia one. I just noticed the stamping on the right, the bow is upside down. Have I done something wrong? She's got the bow upside down, Craig. Does that make sense to you? Shall I read that again? I'm using the poinsettia one and just notice stamping on the right, the bow is upside down. I'm not sure.
Yes, I see what you mean. So, Charlotte, if we can we come up ahead on my one, please? Thank you very much. So, see how we've got, so this is here. So what you've done is you've actually stamped it the other way round. So so here, let's bring in mine from this one here. So what you have done, let's bring in, I think that'll work. So what you've done, this is how it should look with the bow down here. You've stamped it the wrong way round. so that the bow
Right.
is at the top and it's upside down.
So might it depend on then what design you're using? It might be best to use it on the left side or the right side?
Absolutely, yes.
And
yeah.
it wouldn't make any difference to the craft along what side you did it, with that left or right side?
Yeah, so if it is something like this one, that's a very, very good point actually, that I should have picked up on the fact that some of them may be on the opposite sides. So that's a really good point. In saying that, do exactly what I've done, but just on the opposite side.
Okay,
so there you
excellent. I'm glad that we managed to sort that out for you. Winnerbeth says, does it count as crafting along if I'm painting my new craft room? If you're painting it with sparkle pens, yes. If it is a roller magnolia emulsion, probably not. Probably a chore, I reckon. Unless it's a really amazing colour, then maybe, yeah. I don't know, you choose, Winnerbeth. You let us know. Let me take you back through the main collection because it's not too late. You'll be able to order this, and then when it arrives, you'll be able to, of course, come back and watch this craft along whenever you wish. Let me go through them for you. So you're going to receive in here, ring out those bells, which is this one just here. You're also going to get the winter blessings, as you can see there. Really love that one. That's the one that Craig's using at the moment. Then we have the festive poinsettia here as well, really gorgeous, and you've got that layerable element there too. Next up is your Christmas bow. You're also going to receive this one here. I actually really like this one. I think this might be my favourite. The festive banner is that one there. And then finally, you also have your Cozy by Candlelight. Now, if you wanted to go for them individually, they are all available individually, $14.99 or $16.95. Better value, though, is to go for them in pairs because any two are £27 or $33. You can, of course, use your Club Inspired discount on top of there as well. Linda Vasquez says, got my CC order yesterday and finally picked up the 8x8 stamping platform. Also got the brush letter sets, and I'll be trying them out today. Panda Craft's just got all of the pencils she ordered as well. Who else has got? Loads of getting deliveries. Val's not doing the craft along today, she says. She says, hi, Craig. Not doing the craft along. I'm out later to a barbecue at my nephew's, but I always watch as much as I can, and there's always something to learn. Absolutely, there is, Val. Oh, I bet it's lovely down in Southampton today, you know, on the south coast. I bet it's glorious. We've got some great deals for you on ink pads at the moment, because we just had a big restock on ink pads. So it means a lot of the most popular colours that were out of stock for a really long time, they are back. This is the Floral Spray collection. In here you're going to get Baby Blue, Chinese Red, Grasshopper, Lemon Tonic, Misty Morning, Pale Fig, Pine Tree, Pink Tulip. You've then got Sandstorm, and you've got the Seal Brown. So these have all been curated so as they work perfectly with this particular collection. So they are going to work beautifully together there as well. Right, Craig, I haven't had any more questions in, so I'm presuming that everyone's pretty much tickety-boo and good to go if you are.
Let's go. I have to say though, here in the UK, you'll probably get what I'm away to say, probably not stateside, but whenever Joe says festive blessings, I always think, I'm Brian Blessing. Oh,
that was a really good impression.
Was it?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, Charlotte doesn't know who it is. I'm Brian Blessing. Just reminds me of him.
When I lived in Cambridge, he was trying to be the mayor of Cambridge,
Was
Brian
he?
Blessed.
Ah, there you go. I just thought I would share that. You know, USA, give him a search if you want. Actually, it reminds me of Santa Claus somewhere in some
He's a bit Santa-esque,
doesn't he?
isn't he?
Yeah, very, very apt for this weekend, maybe?
Tomorrow, something
Tomorrow?
huge happening.
Did you see those elves? Did you see the elves, pesky elves on social media? What were they doing? Try to get on Sarah's nice list. Right, next step, here we go. Let's have a look. What we're going to do is let's bring in either your gold glitter or mirror, whatever you've chosen. As you can see, I've rose gold, but you can use which ones you want. And then our sort of ivory cardstock, ivory cream cardstock. So what we're going to do is let's take our glitter or mirror, whatever one you're using, and this one we're going to cut to 4 inches. So we're going to cut to 4, and this is a good point as well or good time to point out, when it comes to cutting on the guillotine, many people will ask Joe, is it, so there is the 4-inch notch here, do you put your cardstock up to the right-hand side?
I've always thought this.
Or the left-hand side? You know, because really that is a difference of like a millimetre or so. So pop it up to the right-hand side, and then that is going to be your exact measurement.
Perfect.
So just up to the right-hand side of the 4-inch, and then we're going to cut, and we're going to do the same again up to the 6 1/4. So 6 1/4, we're going to then cut. So there we go. So that's 4 inches by 6 1/4. That's within your gold card that you use. Then we're going to come in with our ivory card, our cream card, whichever one you're going to use, and we're going to cut this one to 6 inches. So we'll go right up to the 6. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it around and cut to 3 3/4. And then we're going to cut. So this is then going to give us a really nice matting layer over the top there. What to do is bring in the opposite die that we used before. So that's the one we used first time round. Now we want to bring in the opposite die. What I would suggest at this point as well, bring back in the stamp you've already stamped. And if you need to, what to do is give it a clean, either with a kitchen wipe, warm water, or kitchen roll, or do what I do, dab off the excess ink, because we're actually going to use this as a guide. So we don't want to have any excess ink onto our card.
Awesome.
So what we're going to do at this point is let's mat and layer here. Now, watch this bottom right-hand corner. We're going to pull that all the way down so it matches to the right-hand side and the bottom, and then you're left with quite a fair mat and layer all the way around. If you feel a little bit more comfortable securing it with tape just now, do that. So I'm going to stick my low tack tape over the edges to hold it into place that we can see at this point here. What we can then do is let's bring back our stamped impression. I'm going to pop that over the top, and can you see how I've got a matting layer all, at the right hand side and the top with the white? Yep. So what I'm going to do there, let's just secure that back again. So making sure I've got a matting layer at the top and the left hand side. Using your stamp, because you can see some of the stamp, use that as a guide. So pop it back over your stamped impression. We can then come back with our die, and we can use that as a guide as to where we're going to cut in the right place. That's going to give us that perfect matting layer all the way around. No measuring, no pencil lines, no nothing. It's using the tools that you've got already to enable you to do the job. So I think, Joe, do you want me to go over that bit just once more? Because once I've cut it, I've cut it. I can't show it again.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Perfect. So let's bring back these bits here. So I'm going to take that off, and that off. So we've taken a piece of gold, if that's what you're going to use gold, and we've cut that to 6 1/4 by 4 inches. We've taken some ivory card, we've cut that to 6 inches by 3 3/4. We're going to bring back in our gold, and we're going to pop it over the top as if we're matting and layering it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull it down to the bottom right hand side. So let's pull it down. So we've basically got a thick matting layer, top and left hand side, and it's flush at the opposite side. So I'm going to secure that with a little bit of tape just now. So let's pop that one in here. That will end up being the matting layer for a stamped impression. So let's pop that over the top. We'll give ourselves a guide of a matting layer around the side. And at this point, Joe, you can have it really thin if you want. You can have it thick if you want. This bit is entirely up to you. I know some people like no white layers to be shown. Some of you like quite a few. Because either way, when we come to line up with the stamp, it's not going to matter. You're going to get it exactly where you want it to be. So once again, I've got my matting layer left-hand side and at the top. We're going to come in with our stamp that's clean now, and we can then pop that one back over the top. So we are going to then mirror that exactly where we've been, and we are using this as a guide as to where we are going to cut using the left-hand side of the die. So So let's pop that back in, line it up the best that we can. It's very easy to line up because you can see through the clear stamps to line up with the black line, and then we can position that.
It's a very clever technique, this one, isn't it? Very clever concept.
It's one of those that you'd initially think, or it's one of those, to do it not this way is very, very time consuming.
Okay.
And it's frustrating sometimes. So as I say, if you use the tools that you've got, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it where I want. So I'm happy I've got it there. So let's secure that with a low tack tape. Low tack tape, we can remove that out the way. We can remove that out the way for now. And now we're going to run that one through our Gemini. So let's pop that onto our plate. And we can then sandwich that. Now I've got rid of the card, haven't I? Yeah, don't have the card stock. So let's feed this one through. And then, as I said, that is going to cut through 2 layers, glitter and ivory card. And what it'll do is it gives it that fine border all the way around, finishes it off nicely, but then when we come to shuffle it back slightly, this is where we get a lovely matten layer even onto that decorative cut that we've just done. So let's move that out the way here. So we don't need these bits. So let's take these ones, and then now, because of my low tack tape, I'm going to be careful, and we're going to peel that one off. Our low tack tape's great, but because of the pressure of the Gemini, it can sometimes stick a little too much. So you just need to be careful. And what to do, a little tip as well, instead of peeling and taking it straight off, bend it back on itself and pull. So bending it back on itself and pull it back. So we can do the same with here. So being careful with this one. Let's take the tape off our die, and I'm going to pull it back. So there's one corner. I think I've still just got a little bit there. And then we can come into this bit here. If we peel this one off, and then we can, let's just take that off with my nails. I'll get that last bit in a second. Let's remove the die. Let's take our tape. And then what we can then do is show you, by doing the measurements that we've done, even with this really detailed border, we're still going to have that perfect matten layer back in, pop it into place. Now look at that.
Awesome. Lots of people very impressed with this. Nina says, I've been trying to figure out an easy way to cut layers like this for ages. So great tip. And Linda says, awesome tip for cutting this, Craig. I don't know if this actual set, but this will work for other sets in my stash.
Absolutely.
Colette says, great tips, Craig, using the stamp as the guide and lining up those layers. And Crafty Ange says, this is amazing. I'll definitely try this, just watching for now. But yeah, I mean, in all of our crafting, you'll pick up tips that you'll be able to use through all your crafting, of all your other collections.
You will, you know, and I still do as well. And it's something that, tip-wise, I've known for a while, but it's just been in the back of my head till I came to make this. And I thought, how do I get that perfect matten layer all the way around, even with the decorative edges? And then it just came back into my mind. I remembered this tip, so I thought, right, perfect. Let's show you how to do that. So what we can do at this point, Joe, is before we do some colouring and layering, let's go in with that spare bit of Nina cardstock, and let's bring in the small floral spray and also the die to go with it. And I'm going to stamp and die cut this one twice when it comes to the little floral spray, and then we can get onto the colouring, which is going to be the fun, exciting part of this demo.
Kathy says, wow, I don't usually comment, but love to watch. Oh, hi, Kathy. I'm glad that you've dropped a line. She says, I have to say thank you. This is a wonderful demonstration and so well explained as well. So thank you for that. And Deborah saying, great tips being picked up. Karen says, hello, Joe and Craig. It's like a sauna here in New Jersey. It is so hot everywhere at the moment. Well, the whole of Europe, actually. Friends have been posting on Instagram that live in Sweden and Germany. It's so hot there as well at the moment. Brenda says, I saw you, Craig. You are a naughty boy telling Ben a fib. What's this all about?
That wasn't me. I never done a fib of anything. That was that pesky little elf. Wasn't me.
Gosh.
Not at all. I'd never fib. Never.
Not even a little white one, like a little white lie.
To be polite, I would.
Okay.
To be polite. You know, that's a lovely shirt you've got on.
I knew you were going to go there. I was just waiting for it. I almost said, no, don't do it, Joe. I almost said, you know, oh, like when you said my shirt looked nice this morning.
But no, I do like your shirt. But yeah, obviously, you do, don't you? I think it's right. If it's going to make someone feel that little bit better or that, then I don't see it being a problem. As long as it's nothing big, of course. Not nice if it's
But
big.
it wasn't you, it was the elf.
Exactly. Wasn't me, it was the elf.
Well, for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, where can we see this, Craig?
Crafters Companion Facebook page,
Perfect.
USA Facebook page, and actually Crafters TV. So these little sketches, these little videos, these pesky elves have done, on Facebook, they are on Crafters Companion Facebook page. On Instagram, they're on Crafters Companion Insta Stories.
Okey-doke.
So have a look there. Now what I'm going to do here is I've die cut and then I'm going to stamp. You might want to stamp and then die cut. That's entirely up to yourself, as long as we've got two. So I'm going to stamp these still with my Spectrum Noir alcohol proof black. And what I'm going to do, and again at this point, I can already see through my stamp it's bubbled. And that means this stamp hasn't been used before.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime it. So I'm taking that excess ink off my stamp. So let's take that off just so that we can clean it. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with my translucent clear. Now I know obviously this wasn't on the list because this wasn't part of the craft along, but because it's not being used, it's new, it means that the ink is sitting on the top, but it's bubbling. And that's just residual material from the stamp sitting on the top.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've stamped with my clear, translucent clear ink pad. That gives it a coating. So that means when I now come and stamp with my ink, I can already see the difference here. I know you can't, but I can see the difference, that it's nice and smooth. It's not bubbled whatsoever, which then means once we go to stamp, so I'm lining it up with the outside line of the white card. I'm going to press, and I know I am going to get the most crisp, clean, incredible, detailed line when it comes to that impression.
So beautiful.
Look at it. So even from high up there, you can see that incredible depth. And I've already done the stamp once, so I don't need to do it again. That's more than enough. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this one out again, but I'm going straight in with my ink now. I don't need that translucent clear. So
fantastic. Lots of you tuning in. Lots of you letting me know how warm it is where you are as well. Candice says, hi, Joe, Craig, the CTV staff and all my crafty friends. It's going to be in the mid-90s here today. Rain last night, so going to add some humidity to the mix. At least the garden likes the weather. Oh, I mean, that's it. My plants at home, Craig, are going absolutely bonkers. They are growing so fast, yeah. Because where they're in the window, they're just getting so much sun. I'm having to water them all the time, but honestly, they're growing at a rate of knots. Yeah.
It's, I've got, you know, as we've established by now, I don't have anything real, such as plants or anything like that at home. What I do have, for my birthday, Charlotte gave me a, I've worked one for that long that I can't even remember the name now.
What did you give him, Charlotte?
Bonsai tree.
A bonsai tree?
You know, the tiny little trees?
Yeah.
Been wanting one of them for ages.
Aren't they quite difficult to look after?
No, not at the moment. It seems to be flourishing quite well. But, yeah, I did think that they were quite easy to look after. And as I say, Charlotte very kindly gave me one for my birthday. So that's in the kitchen. And as you've just said there, it is flourishing rather well.
Are you quite green-fingered, Charlotte?
No. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
She was very enthusiastic.
Loves
when she
flowers.
Said, yeah.
She sounds like she really loves them. Yes, she loves flowers. Like plants or just flowers? No, I said plants. Okay, excellent. Johnny? No.
No. No, I'm the
Can't
same,
look
Johnny.
after them.
I
I
can't
used
look
to be
after
like
them.
that. I think once you get a few, and you start to see some results, I think then it sort of spurs you on to get a bit more into it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. I just don't have the time, Joe. I don't have the time. Now, what we're going to do now is for the next wee while now is going to be about the colouring. So I am going to do some that is all about the blending and shading, and we'll step you through. For me to do this in real time, it's going to take more than the craft along. So I'm going to get to the point, Joe, where what I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour by laying the colour down without doing any blending. But once I get to that point, once I get to the point where I've done enough blending, I'll just say to you, right, all that I'm going to do now is simply colour this in block colours so that we can get the craft along done. But what we're going to do is I'll explain one of the petals here, Joe, and then I'll carry on. So I'm going to use combination tri-blend pens. I'm going to use the Fair Skin blend. I'm going to use Gold Yellow blend. I'm going to use Alpine Green blend. And I'm going to use Light Green blend.
Okie doke.
And for the time being, these floral petals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour them, and I'm going to colour them the way that we would do with our alcohol colouring. So I'll explain quickly this one here before we have a look at any comments or that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start into the centre of the flower, and I'm going to lay down the lightest colour first, and that is the Fair Skin blend. So make sure we get a really good coverage of the light tone. I've got my cardstock underneath, a piece of scrap from earlier, so that any alcohol that bleeds through will then be caught onto the card. So I've laid down the lightest, so let's go into the dark. Now you can do all your fancy techniques and follow the lines and that if you want. I'm not, I'm simply going to add that depth of colour towards the centre. And I'm going to come in about a third of the way, lay down that dark colour, really make sure we've got a good coverage. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go into the mid-tone, and where that light and the dark meet, I'm going to go into circle motions and blend them out. So I'm going to go round. Going round, I just feel you get a nice even consistency. So blend them two together, and then what we can do is we can go back into the light tone, do the same here, blend that line out where the mid-tone is, and then we're going to finish that floral petal off. So if I turn it back the right way.
It's amazing how it transforms it, isn't it? Just the one, it looks so different.
It looks so different, doesn't it? And you, even from there, up above, you can see you've got that depth down in the corner or into the centre of the flower, of the petal. That'll still take a moment or two to then kind of blend in, for the blend to blend in, if that makes sense. And then all that I'm going to do, just for the time being, Joe, is I'm going to start to colour in all of these petals as well.
Awesome. Loads of you chatting away with me still as well. I'm guessing as well, Craig, Pamela says today is National Tattoo Day in the US. Does anyone have a tattoo? I don't. I don't have any tattoos or piercings.
No, me neither.
Craig doesn't. Charlotte? Charlotte? No, Charlotte doesn't have any. Johnny? None. Four of us. Tracy does. I wonder how many she's got. I'll ask her. Is she there? No, she's not there. She's probably making a cup of tea or something.
Maybe.
I'll ask her when she comes back. Tracy's got lots of tattoos. That's got to be quite rare for all four of us don't have any tattoos.
No, I know.
Tattoos are very popular, aren't they?
Very rare.
In the US. Rhonda says, my husband wears a Hawaiian shirt every Friday. He calls it Hawaiian Shirt Friday. It's become a tradition. He takes a pic of his shirt, puts it on his Facebook page. He forgot once and got a massive backlash. Don't forget Hawaiian Shirt Fridays. L. Wilson saying, thank you, Craig. I now understand what was happening with my stamps I just ordered. I'll prime from now on, so thanks for the tip. Renee's saying the temperatures are nice, but we are getting a smoke haze from the Canadian fires here in Minnesota. I know lots of you still having lots of very extreme weather in the US, so I hope you are all staying safe and cool.
Also, that not just America, I know, unfortunately, I know Germany's had a really, really tough time. So anyone watching from Germany or anyone that's got friends and family, we're certainly thinking of you.
Yeah, we are, and sending our love. I know some parts of Belgium as well, and the Netherlands as well, having a lot of extreme weather at the moment. So yes, we send our thoughts to you. Crafty Angie said, I'm there, Crafty Angie. Craig, what is the difference between the blend pens and the shade pens? That's a great question, because I don't know the answer to that, Craig.
Right, Tio. So let's see if we can get this one the right way round. I know how to explain it, it's just getting them the right way round. One of them is, as we say, the blend. The other one is the shade. So the shade is a continuation from the blend. So what you can do is, once you've blended in, say for instance, the fair skin blend, if you want even more detail, then what you can go and you can use the fair skin shade, and that's going to be a couple of shades darker. So then you can really go in. So basically think of it, instead of it being 3 shades, you're going to have 6. So it just pushes it. So in other words, it's matching the classic colour range, but within fewer pens.
Fewer pens, yeah. And on that note, actually, Linda says, Craig, I know you're using the tri-blends. Could you just give me the individual ink codes as you're using them?
Of course I can. So for this one at the moment, I am using, so as I say, it's Fair Skin Blend. I'm using FS8, FS7 and FS6.
Awesome. Well, Linda, you keep your ears open and Craig will give you those numbers as we go through them as well. For anyone that is new to us, Craig, am I right in thinking that's because the colours in these pens also are... Let me try and, this is a really badly formulated question. The ink colour is the same colours as in the Illustrator and the Classics as individual pens, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Excellent, glad we got there in the end. Of course you can use whatever you want, Classics, Illustrators. I'm guessing our tri-blend brush pens would be fine to use for these, Craig, as well, would they?
Sorry, Joe?
Our tri-blend brush pens we could use on here too. Absolutely anything that you like, which is awesome. Any questions, any comments, anything you need recapping, then get those questions over to me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are over on YouTube. Joanne says, morning all the times I've been watching this on my computer, I just found out I can get it on my TV. What a difference.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, getting it on the TV for the first time. Yes, I can get Crafters TV through YouTube on my TV, Craig.
Snap.
And it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Absolutely amazing. If you've been used to watching us on a tablet or a laptop or even a phone, then yeah, get us on your big TV. If you've got a smart TV or a TV that has the YouTube app within it, all you need to do is click into that app using your remote, pop Crafters Companion into the search bar, and you'll find us. We'll be there, and then you can watch us in all our full glory, Craig.
Exactly, I know.
I wonder who's got the biggest TV. I can imagine us on like a 75-inch TV.
Well, mine's a 70.
Is yours a 70?
70.
So I think then I watched the England-Germany match at a friend's apartment, and the TV was like the size of the wall, Craig. I think it was like 100-inch. Is that even a thing?
Yeah.
It was like a 100-inch TV. Honestly, I was sat on the sofa like this, watching the game. Unbelievable. Imagine us two on a 100-inch TV. Oh, I dread to think. Joanne says, yeah, she got us on the TV. Chrissy says, I can't wait to get the markers. I'm going to start colouring before going to sleep instead of TV and phone time. Now that is an amazing idea. I am so bad, Craig, at using my phone right up until I go to bed.
Me too.
I've started doing that thing now though, because since I got a smartwatch, it like gets me ready for bed. So it turns off all my notifications like an hour before bed.
Right.
That's really good, because then you find yourself not picking your phone up as much, but I still find, I sit scrolling. I get to bed and then scroll, which is really bad.
Yeah, I'm like that as well.
Really, really bad. We're all guilty of it, aren't we? Some people have like phone timeout. Me and some friends, when we went through a phase going for drinks, Craig, and we used to play phone buckaroo.
Right.
So what you'd all do, especially if your friends are as bad as my friends used to be with their phones, when you all sat together, you all put your phones in a pile on the table, pile them all up, and if anyone If anyone gets their phone before you decide collectively that the game is over, they have to buy everyone else a drink.
Okay.
So really good game, and it really is. You do have quite a lot of fun. It's really good.
I'd say I think as much as I'm on my phone a lot, I would have no issue with being able to do that.
No, absolutely.
I would be fine.
And look, technology is amazing for a whole host of different reasons. The fact that you can watch us, through your smartphone and your tablet is amazing. But yeah, sometimes nice to go out without it. On holiday, in fact, I often go out for the evening without my phone. Quite liberating, quite bit panicked first night.
I don't know if I would ever go away without it.
No, I would never go away without it. Because that used to be a thing. Do you remember like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, when Wi-Fi, I'm only 34, I sound so old. When I was in my early 20s, when you went abroad, Wi-Fi just wasn't really that readily available in Europe. So the thing was, it was like, do you take your phone? Because if you use it, it costs a fortune. Or do you just leave it at home? And I remember going on holiday. I'm going on a 2-week holiday to Lanzarote with my parents and didn't take a phone. Seems so strange now.
It does. And I think obviously, certainly here in the UK anyway, our phone companies are more forgiven when it comes to
yes, and we're all so much more connected now, aren't we? With Wi-Fi and everything being readily available. Pamela's watching us on a 65-inch TV. Alison watching us on a 75-inch TV, and on the phone for comments as well. Multi-connected. There you are.
Multi-connected.
I love that.
I know it is when you think about the technology that there is and what it allows you to do. Watching things from all over the world, and it's even things like when Sarah's on HSN. It's so simple just to go onto your smart TV or HSN app or something that we can get here and just watch as well. Whereas it's not that long ago that it would have been so hard to do something like that. Whereas now it's not an issue. Or if you do have an Apple TV or an Apple box, how you can just zap it from your phone or your tablet to your screen. It's a fascinating
Technology
world.
is amazing, isn't it?
It
really is quite incredible. I still can't, Craig, I still can't get over how it works, like how I can play music on my phone that comes out of a speaker, yet like they're not touching each other. They're just, I can't get it. There's Wi-Fi connection in the air.
Exactly.
It's all around us. And that I can speak into a piece of plastic in this side of the ocean, and someone on the other side of the ocean speaking into a piece of plastic can hear me. It's quite mind-blowing when you think about it.
Instantly. It's not
instantly,
as if, yeah, like 10-second delay or anything like that, but pretty instant.
Absolutely instantly. It's amazing. Mary says, I just inherited an 85-inch TV. Wowzers, my granddaughter relocated from New York to South Carolina and found it would cost more to have it moved than to buy a new one.
I can imagine.
That's bonkers, isn't it? So yeah, an 85-inch TV, wowzers. I'll have to pay a bit more attention to my makeup going forward, Mary, if I know you've got some 85-inch TV. Rebecca's watching on her phone, and she's also crafting away as well in her craft room. And Donna says, rightfully, our phones are also our cameras now. So it is nice to carry a big camera and a computer and a phone everywhere. Do you know what? That's a great point, because when we used to go out without our phones on holiday, we always would have a digital camera to take photos. So yeah, I guess you always take your phone now. Looking gorgeous.
It's your whole life in one, isn't it?
Oh, it really is.
Your whole life in one.
I once went on a 2-week holiday, not that long ago, Craig. In Europe, and I had my phone stolen on day one of a 14-day holiday.
Oh, Joe.
Gran Canaria. Honestly, it was a very long 2 weeks without a phone.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
I bet it was. It's horrible if something like that happens. Thankfully, it's never happened to me, but. Now what I'll do is I'll give you a little recap what I've done here. So within a few of them, I have done the blending and shading. So the main one, the two sides, and the top one, I've done the blending and shading with the fair skin tone blend. These other ones, I would do the blending and shading, but for time, to cut it down a bit, because we're already an hour in, and that's us doing our colouring. So what I'm going to do now is for the remainder of the foliage bits, Joe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour with my Alpine Green blend.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do when it comes to the leaves, I'm not going to do blending or shading.
Okay.
I'm going to go straight in with the lightest tone, which is the AG1.
AG1.
And I'll colour in all of these foliage. What I'm also going to do though, in the middle of all these flowers I've coloured, I'm going to take the light green blend, which is LG1, and what I'm going to do is where you've got the little lines of the ink pad, I'm just following them, and that is with the light of the light green pen LG1. So I'm going to do that with all of the centre of these petals, just the light tone, and then I'll come in with Alpine Green and colour in the foliage.
Awesome. Charlotte's asking me how I lost / had my phone stolen on holiday. I was wearing shorts with very shallow pockets, Craig, and I was in a very busy market, and as I dropped my phone into my pocket and turned, someone literally put their hand in and took it out. And you know, have you ever had that, Craig? Where someone's taken something out of your pocket and it's so strange, you sort of feel it go. So literally, as I dropped it into my pocket, and about half a second later as I turned, I felt it leave my pocket again. Boom, gone forever. Gosh. Nope, so many people around, so someone obviously watched me and just popped it out. So yeah, don't wear shallow short pockets on holiday. There you go. Oh, that all got very dark very quickly, didn't it? Whew.
Joe, sorry, just for a second, forgive me everyone. Can I Johnny, I can hear you, but Charlotte, I've not heard you for about 10 minutes.
She hasn't said much, to be honest.
Right, yo. Oh, she's had me deselected for 10 minutes. Oh, well, there we go. That's why.
Pam says, Joe, my mum and dad didn't have a house phone the whole time I lived with them. And when we got married, we didn't have a house phone either. In our second house, we had a shared phone line. Luckily, it was with the neighbours across the road, so we could see when they were hogging the phone. How funny is that? Yeah, shared phone with the neighbours across the way. I remember my grandma's first mobile phone. And it was like a car battery that was in the car. It was like a big car battery with a handle on, and you left it in the car. I think it was a car phone. It wasn't very mobile. And then my dad had one of those. Do you remember those like big brick phones that had the little area on with just the numbers and like some absolutely ginormous things. Anne-Marie says, what colour would Craig use to colour the candles? Well, there were candles being in the...
one of the other ones.
Let me just. Do you want me to grab it for you, Craig, so you can see it? That one there.
If you don't mind.
It's kind of like a.
I would say it's probably one of the yellowy tones.
Yeah.
I'll need to have a look.
All right, we'll get back to you on that. Chrissy says, have a great day, everyone. I have to do some chores. Then I'm going to work on making some cards with some goodies that recently arrived from HSN. Got a few more packages coming. One includes markers and pencils. Cheers. Well, I hope you have a great day, Chrissy. I really, really do. What I love about this, Craig, although this is a Christmas collection, essentially, depending on how you colour these up and what you do with them, you're going to be able to do anything you like, really, with the florals, aren't you? Exactly. I mean, even the poinsettias, obviously you colour the poinsettias in a red colour, they're going to look very festive, but there's nothing to stop you using tropical colours and making something really summery and vibrant. It's completely up to you. I think that's one of the joys of stamps, isn't it? Everyone stamps out, but then whatever you do from there on in is completely bespoke to you.
Exactly.
Valerie says, I hear Europe has a lot of pickpockets. I guess it's true. I guess so. Some places do. Not so much here in Newton Aycliffe, thankfully. Beth says, Joe, over here it's called a party line.
Party line?
The phone line, a party line. Oh, a joint phone line. It's a party line. Do you ever remember, Yolanda says, Joe, and we thought those brick phones were amazing back in the day. I mean, they were incredible. All technology is amazing, let's face it. Do you ever remember if you were on the internet, Craig, when you had dial-up internet, you couldn't be on the phone. You pick the phone up and it'd be like, all those internet noises, yeah. You'd be like, get off the internet, I'm on the phone to your Auntie Margaret. So strange. With like things loading up, you know, just... very, very slowly.
I remember that as well, yeah.
I mean, it makes you wonder where we will be in another 10 years' time, Craig.
Exactly.
Can
you imagine?
Who knows? How exciting. Maybe I'll be at home in Manchester and I'll be a hologram here presenting, you know?
Maybe.
You never know.
You never know. You just never know what's going to happen nowadays, do you?
You absolutely do not. That is looking gorgeous, Craig.
So I've gone in with the foliage with the Alpine light green. And what I've done here is, as I say, I've not done any of the blending or shading because of time. The tiny little berries what I've done, instead of going for a traditional red, I have used the gold yellow blend, and that I have used the mid-tone, which is the GY3. And then what I'm going to do now, Joe, is exactly the same, because I don't know if, John, if you want to decide if to give everyone a chance to catch up on that, while I colour these, because there's a lot of colour in.
So you're just going to take the same principle then, Craig, and
exactly
just colour again?
the same, yep.
All right, well, I've got a few other bits that I need to do then in that case, whilst you do that. It is very, very busy on the colour blend pencils. We've had some good deals on these recently. This is an awesome deal on these colour blend pencils, because it's an awesome deal anyway. However, it gets even better, because remember, today, and only today as well, I will stress, when you spend 30, you save an extra £10, which is fantastic. So what that means is, spend £30, dollars or euros or more, and you'll save £10, dollars or euros. So if you wanted to go for these today, the colour blend pencils, let me just quickly share them with you. So these are the naturals here. You get all 5 tins of them in this particular bundle, which is awesome. They all come really gorgeous. There's no talc, no filler. They're a really beautiful artist quality wax-based pencil, packed full of pigment as well. You can use these with the blending solution, you can use it without the blending solution, it's completely up to you. They also complement your alcohol colouring perfectly as well. So if you want to go in and then intensify your alcohol marker colouring, these are a great way of doing that. So that's the naturals that you've got there. You'll receive 4 other tins as well, and I'm going to show you the colours that are in those other 4 tins right now. So this one here is your primaries, as you can see. I love the velvet in here. The maize is gorgeous, as is the cedar wood. Then you've got your shades and tones. I love that harbour blue. I can never say it. Anemone. Is that what it's called? I always think it sounds rude, so I don't say it. Deep purple in there as well. So that's your first 2. And the next 2 you get are the essentials. She's got the white in, which is really handy, and you're going to get the florals, which would work beautifully with this project that Craig is doing just here. So you get 5 tins of them, which is brilliant. So as a platinum member today, if you were going for just these on there alone, you'd get them for $39.60. That is right, isn't it? I've just in my head, I'm like, hang on, is that right? Yeah, $39.60 or $59.60. Automatically applies at checkout once you've got the right amount of stuff in your basket. Right, I understand that lots of you are still all colouring away. Any questions that you've got, any comments, anything you want me to get Craig to recap, then absolutely get those questions in for me. What I'm going to do is just share with you all the details of US delivery and also Club Inspire.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
All the details there of US shipping and Club Inspire. Now, should we just check in on Craig, see how he's getting on? I think he might need a little bit longer. Let's see how he's doing.
A little bit. So I've started on the floral of my second corner. And then what I'm going to do in a moment or two, we're going to go back into the remainder of the floral or the foliage. We'll finish that off and then that will be the colouring done.
How fantastic. Have I got time just to recap that main collection then just before we get into that next bit, Craig? Is that all right?
Of course.
Because if you are watching this, you are joining us and think, oh gosh, I really wish I'd have gone for the whole collection or one of these or a couple of these and been able to recreate this myself at home. It absolutely is not too late for you to do that because remember, you can watch back any of our shows at any time over on our website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au. Let me take you through this collection. We do still have all 6 of the stamp and die sets available as well. So you've got the Ring Out Those Bells, which is great. If any Liza Minnelli fans out there, she's got a song called Ring Out Those Bells.
Sure.
I just thought I'd let you know that. Winter Blessings is this one just here. You've also then got the Festive Pointy. The great thing about these is you cut them out the left side, cut them to the right side, to the left side, or take them all the way out. It is completely up to you. Then we've also got the Christmas bow just here. Then you've got your festive banner. And finally, you also have the Cozy by Candlelight as well. $57.56 or $65.09. If you were going for these on their own, you get them for £10 or dollars less than that as well. Remember, because when you're spending 30, you're going to save an extra 10. Which is absolutely awesome value. Kay said, I never would have thought of using that colour for the flowers, but it looks beautiful. Love watching Craig colour. It's so cathartic, Craig colouring, isn't it? Definitely one of those things you can just kind of, you know, lose yourself in. Take some time, bit of mindfulness, as some people like to call it.
It is. It's one of those as well. If you were to colour a sizable image, what you would do, Joe, is you would end up saying, right, I'll do this little bit and then I'll stop. And then you get to that little bit and you're finished and then you think, actually, I'll do a little bit more. And then I'll do a little bit more because it's so relaxing, cathartic, enjoyable, and it's fun to do. And as you see the blend come together, if that's what you choose to do, it gives you that instant confidence boost. And that's why you want to continue colouring and keep going. So
our answers are these flowers, what they call Christmas roses. I'm not sure.
I don't think they're a Christmas rose.
We'll consult our resident horticulturalist, Charlotte. Charlotte, are these Christmas roses? She thinks they might be, Anne, yes.
My bad. I don't know why I answered that though, because I don't know anything about florals. I know what a peony is, and I know what poinsettia is.
Well, I was a bit devastated, Craig, this week at home. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a lot of sadness because I wasn't able to have any lilies at home. I wasn't able to have any lilies at home this week, Craig, because I'm up here away for 6 days. I'm only back for like 12 hours and then I'm away again for another 3 days. So I thought if I bought them this week, they'd flower next week and I won't be there to see it.
So you're all lilied out.
The house feels naked without them. Honestly, it's strange, isn't it? And then the other day, right, I got home from work Wednesday night, Craig. The coffee shop downstairs, they're struggling for staff at the moment. I think they've got a few coffee shops around town with the situation that's going on. So they decided that they were going to close Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Obviously, I didn't know about it. I hadn't been home. Went to get my morning coffee at 8:15 and the shop was closed, Craig. And for a split second, I genuinely for a split second, I was like, how am I going to get through the day? You know, when you're like such a creature of routine and habit that when one thing doesn't happen, I was like, and what on earth am I going to do to get through this? It turns out there's another coffee shop just around the corner. It was fine.
Oh, well, that's not too bad then. That's not too bad.
It's about 100 yards further down the road, yeah. But for a split second, it's a really irrational, like, what on earth am I going to do?
What are you going to do? But
we keep moving, as the kids say. Keep
moving. Just keep moving. Oh, it's swimming, isn't it? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Now that we've coloured these ones in, you know how 9 times out of 10, or let's say 10 times out of 10, I go round with an ice grey too. What we're doing, sticking with our gold yellow, we're going to go to the lightest tone, which is GY2, and we're going to draw around our 2 Christmas roses, if that's what we've established them to be.
GY sounds like from an old American film.
GY.
Yeah.
2. Back. Bigger than ever. GY2, back in the habit. That's a good one, Johnny.
I love these colours you're using, says Diane Schofield as well. The flowers look so delicate. Thing is, Craig, like cinema releases are starting to come back now.
Aren't they?
I saw that Space Jam was released this week.
Oh.
New Space Jam film is meant to be incredible. People have seen it, yes. And also, you know how I love a musical, Craig? The film version of Dear Evan Hansen is being released very soon as well. I'm so excited to see it. Can't wait.
I've seen the first Space Jam, but I'm more... I don't watch a lot of Disney, but I am more Disney than I am kind of like Warner Brothers or that. But I know Looney Tunes.
That's Warner Brothers?
That's Warner Brothers. It is, isn't it? Yeah.
All of those things.
Yeah,
When I was a kid growing up, we lived near a place in Essex called Lakeside Shopping Centre, and it was literally, even Johnny was like, oh yeah, it's nice there. As a kid, it was like a mecca, Craig. Now, when you go to it, it's like it looks tiny in comparison to some of the big super malls that we have now.
Yeah.
But it used to have a Warner Brothers shop that was over 3 floors. It had a big slide in it. There was games and stuff you could do. Honestly, like your mum and dad, they'd dump you in Warner Brothers, and then my mum would go around to C&A, and we'd be in there for hours.
C&A, gosh.
Yeah. Or British Home Stores.
Oh, yeah.
There was loads of things you could do. Oh, so much fun.
Yeah, but you're saying about the cinema releases again, I cannot wait. You know how much of a horror fan I am, till the new Halloween film comes out. I am desperate.
Which one?
The Halloween Kills.
Oh, it sounds like a really lovely film, that.
So it's this...
Is it a rom-com?
Sorry?
Is it a rom-com?
Rom-com.
A romantic comedy.
Yes, yeah, I know.
Oh,
I'm
trying
to establish
I was trying to be funny. I was being sarcastic, yes. It's called Halloween Kills. Is it a romantic comedy?
Yeah.
It's definitely not a romantic comedy.
I didn't want to assume that you
were way too hot in the studio. I'm trying to concentrate on this colouring, and you're asking me stupid questions. That was what Craig was thinking.
You said
He was like, I am now Craft Male Personality of the Year nominated. I should not be having to put up with this from you, Joe. Also, then, what I should say is, we've been nominated in 11 categories for the Best of Crafts Award. I mean, absolutely amazing. I'll share the details of how you can vote for us after this next part of Craig's Craft Along. But yes, and Craig, Craft Male Personality of the Year, he is nominated with some very, very talented it's a really good group, isn't it, Craig? It's people like Nigel Mayer in there, Dan Bancroft. Who else is in there?
So we've got
Phil Martin is in there, is he?
John Lockwood.
I mean, what a great group. Imagine those as a boy band. I mean, forget the Rat Pack.
Exactly.
Imagine those 5 getting together.
Do you know what I think's so good this year? Is the fact of we've got Phil and John, really nice guys, incredible designers. They've all got their own range. Then you've got Dan and you've got Nigel, who's more on the presenting side of craft. Really, really nice guy. I'm good friends with Dan.
Good friends with both of them.
Friends with Dan, but Nigel as well. And then, if you're going to include me, then you've got a crafter. You know, I know John and Phil are crafters. But do you know someone that doesn't have their own range, that is just a lover of craft and all
I think it'll be good for an actual crafter to win it this year.
Yes.
Craig.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I mean,
with you.
I've already texted Nigel and Dan, told them I won't be voting for them. It didn't go down so well, but you know, that's life. I said, suck it up, Dan. We move, as the kids say.
Who are you voting for then?
You, Craig, of course. Who else will I be voting for? I think the only reason I didn't get nominated is because Debbie Fisher got it mixed up. I rang her the other day and said, this is all your fault, Fisher. Jeanette says, the Christmas rose is also known as a hellebore. Years ago, I cross-pollinated them and ended up with some gorgeous shades from pale to really very dark, almost black. They sound
Really?
gorgeous. Deborah says, those are so beautiful. Karen Wells saying, I like the outline around the flowers. Makes it look so much better without the white showing. Yeah, it really does. Really nice way of finishing it off. I cannot get over you being into horror movies, says Deb Rich. Me neither. I once watched The Hills Have Eyes, Craig.
Amazing film.
Not the old one that's meant to be more scary, the new one.
That's Pants.
Yeah, the new one. Oh my, I didn't sleep for weeks.
That's more of a comedy.
I didn't sleep for weeks. Pam says, Craig, watching you colour is mesmerising. I've learnt so much from your colouring tips. First, thank you. So many nice tips, so many nice comments about your colouring, Craig, coming. And I find it interesting you don't really consider yourself a colourer, a colourist, do you?
No, I don't.
I think you need to.
And it's a nice boost when I hear many at home saying that, so thank you. I really do appreciate that. But there we go. That is our colouring that we've done. We've stamped, we've cut, we've coloured, all from scratch within the craft along. So what we can do is, before we assemble these bits, let's set them down to the side, because we've got a few mats and layers to cut before we can then finish the card. So I'm going to come in with a piece of the Vintage Christmas that we've got on the list.
These are like gold dust, these, Craig, these sheets, aren't they? I know lots of people got them and have them, but it sold out, didn't it, so quickly. Did we ever get it back in stock, Johnny? I don't think it ever came back. Was it a signature or was it a Nature's Garden?
It was Nature's Garden.
A Nature's Garden, yeah, which shows you when they come in. I mean, when they come in, they are, and they go, that's it, they are gone. So always make sure you snap them up. I think this is one of the most beautiful paper pads we ever made, this one,
I would
Craig.
agree with you.
It's very sort of graphic 45,
Yep.
very vintage, distressed, a bit sort of chic. I absolutely loved it, as did you guys as well, Deborah says, congratulations, Craig, and Craft Companion. Yes, I should say some of the other categories we're nominated in. Best TV Shopping Channel, Female Craft Personality of the Year for Sarah, Designer of the Year as well, Leanne, which is awesome. Best Regional Stores, what else we got? Customer service, best die cutting range, ultimate craft holiday, best workshop as well, best chain store, best brand for crafts. I mean, all the big ones there, Craig, aren't they?
Big ones, yeah, lots
Absolutely.
of them. So lots to choose from and lots to be voting for when it comes to us.
And Craig is in the, I mean, best channel and male and female personality, they're like the sort of best pictures. That's best picture, best actor, best actress, isn't it?
Yeah, goosebumps, isn't it? Now what we're going to do now is I've taken my glitter card. You, or of course, use the gold if that's what you're using. So we are going to cut this to 4 3/4. We're going to turn it around and cut it to 6 3/4. Now we need to do that twice. So that's one of them. So let's take our other one. So we're going to do 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So we've got our 2. We're going to take remaining piece of the ivory or cream. So we're going to come down 1/4 inch. So this one can be cut to 4.5 by 6.5. So that gives us our matten layer that we can see here. We need to do that again, but this time we need to use our Vintage Christmas. So we're going to go up to 4.5. Now, if I cut here, now this is just me being pernickety here. If I cut
Good word,
here,
that, Craig.
see, do you like that word?
Love that word, pernickety.
I'm going to cut off some Santa's mouth, which I don't want. I kind of want this to be towards the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim maybe, let's say 1 inch off the top. So I've trimmed 1 inch off the top, so I have to turn it back around, and let's cut 4 1/4. So then that's going to position his face. Now what I need to do is cut another panel here that is 6 1/4 inches. I'll explain these again in a moment. But again, if I cut that at 6 1/4, see how I'm pretty much cutting his face in half. That I don't want to do with Santa. So I'm going to come along to just before his face. So if I turn that around now and cut that to 6 1/4. So if I come in here, then that's going to give me that matting layer with a thick glitter gold that you can see here, and you can see his face just beautifully within the middle. So we've got 2 with the glitter, and that is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then I've got 1 with the ivory, which is 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. And I've got 1 with the Santa Claus paper, 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that'll give me a thick matting layer all the way around. So these 2 here. And then while we've got our pattern paper, before we then start to assemble this card, what we're going to do is I'm not too fussed about what I've got design-wise. So we are going to come in and we're going to cut up to the 2-inch mark. So we're going to cut a strip that is 2 inch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut to 6 3/4. So we've got 2 inches by 6 3/4. Let's take another piece of our ivory card. So what I'm going to do again is this time let's cut 2 1/4. So if we cut 2 1/4, and then this time what we want to do is we want it to be flush. So because this one is 6 3/4, we're still going to cut it to 6 3/4. So what that does is that gives us a matting layer at the top and the bottom, but it makes it completely flush at the side. So let me just explain that bit again, and we can get on to doing our stamping, our assembling, but we do just have one more stamp to do, and that is with our sentiment. But let's explain this one. So piece of the ivory, which is 6 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then our pattern paper, which is also 6 3/4 by 2 inches. That then gives us our matting layer for the top and the bottom. Then going to come in now with our Nina once again, and I'm going to cut a really dinky little block. So let's cut this up to 2 inches, turn it around by 3 inches. So 2 by 3. Let's take a piece of the glitter card, and this is going to be 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. That gives us our perfect matting layer. So once again, 2 inches by 3 inches, and then 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. That then gives us our perfect matting layer. So I can stamp my chosen sentiment onto this one, and then what we can do is we can then come along and we can start to assemble this full card and get it the way that we want it to be. So let's go in.
Aisha says, can't wait until that paper is available. Tell us when, Joe. No, it was last year's, I'm afraid. It was one of last year's Christmas launches. If it's Christmas launches you're after, you're going to want to make sure you're here with myself and Sarah tomorrow night, 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast time. We'll be kicking off a very special members event, which is going to be amazing. There's lots of details about it right now over on the Crafters Companion and Crafters TV Facebook pages. Someone was saying, I'd love to vote for you, but it's not open to US residents. Were you saying something about voting on Facebook, Craig?
There's lots of you guys stateside that were saying on my Facebook that you can vote.
Okay.
Many of you were actually voting on the Crafts Beautiful Facebook page.
So if you go to the Crafts Beautiful Facebook page,
this is what you guys at home from America, you were telling me that you can vote. So do you know what? Do it.
John, I wonder if we get Johnny to investigate.
Yeah,
We'll have a little
that's, Johnny's just said that's a really good point. If you, of course, we'd love you to vote if you can. If you do, if you've done it stateside,
yes, let us know.
feel free to let us know.
Please do, yes. Crafters, let us know in the comments, Crafters TV or Crafters Companion, Facebook or YouTube. Not seen that paper before, says Diane. Yes, so if some of you wouldn't, we have so many new viewers all the time, don't we, Craig? I know a lot of our customers maybe weren't watching us this time last year. I think this collection launched about, that paper pad launched about August, September time last year, Craig, off the top of my head. Yeah, so if you've only just found us since then you might not have seen it. But yeah, it was an old one that has sold out, I'm afraid. But it goes to show, when you see, especially the Sarah Signature and Nature's Garden pads, you need to order them ASAP.
You do indeed, before they go quick. Before they go quick. Now, here we are. This is us now got all of our components that we can now start to assemble. So before we do that as well, let's just bring in a little bit of ribbon. So I've got my ribbon here. So I'm going to cut that longer than I need. And then here we go, I made sure that I've got extra. Shall we tie a bow?
Oh yes, let's.
Let's go. So let's go in with a ribbon. So I've got my length, I'm holding it in both hands. So I'm going to use my fingers and we're going to create what we call bunny ears. We're going to cross it over. So we're crossing them over each other. And then this one here, we're going to tuck it under and through this loop. We can pull these together. Then I like to pop my thumbs in each loop. And then using my hands, what I like to do is take...
This is a whopper of a bow, this one.
Well, at this point, you can then determine, Joe, you might want it to be really, really big, like that. Or what you then do is have a little play with it, just manipulate it, pull the loops down, so you can then have a really nice small dinky bow if you want. And then here, what we can do is let's go in. I like to do it at an angle. Now these are my paper scissors. Have I got my ribbon ones? Oh, I do, here they are. So I always use my medium scissors to cut my ribbon. So let's cut that at an angle there, and then let's do it at an angle there. So what we can then do, let's just neaten that one up. And then we've got our cute little bow. Maybe even attach it onto a hairband or something. If you've done hairbands with the flower forming, maybe you want to attach it for that one. But I think what we'll do now is, if you've got anything else to do, Joe, will I carry on just doing the mats and layers?
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Carry on. Let's go for it. So let's go in now with our main decorative panel, and let's also go in with our tape runner. So what we can do is let's do these mats and layers on top of each other. So we're going to go round with our tape, so we can go all the way round. So what I'm then also doing is, because this is our shedless glitter card, I'm going to add some of our tacky glue on. And the tape from the tape runner, that gives it its instant grab, and it's going to hold. But then what the tacky glue does is it dries into the fibre of the cardstock, and it dries into all the grains of the glitter card, and it's going to make it a permanent bond once it has dried.
Name's Bond. Permanent bond.
Permanent bond. So we can impress that. So let's add that one in. I'm going to, give me a second, I'm just going to take a very quick drink.
Just a quick swiggy of tea. Yes, Tracy, the cavalry's turned up with the teas, which is good.
So Craft Along, I think, are doing more speaking than you guys presenter-wise, because it's non-stop. I need to take a drink.
I just get to sit and have a bit of a gossip with everyone in the comments, Craig. It's rather fabulous. Beth says she's in the USA and has voted, Craig. So there we go. There's a way to do it. Let us know how you did it, Beth. That would be awesome. Valerie says, let's ask, doesn't Craig have an adorable puppy? Or when he posted a picture with the pup, was that someone else's?
Are we talking Clemmy
about Clemmy? Yes.
Yeah, so no, Clemmy's not mine. Clemmy is my mum and stepdad's. So yeah, she 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe about 15, 16 weeks.
Oh, adorable.
Yeah, she's now allowed out. She's been out for maybe about 2 or 3 weeks now. So they've been down at the beach because my mum and stepdad live near a beach. So yeah, can't wait to see her again. It's going to be so much fun to see her.
When are you going back to Scotland next, do you know, Craig?
I am the 2nd week of September. I've got another little break coming up then, and going to go home for, not the full time, maybe going to go home for about 4 or 5 days.
Nice.
And the thing is, obviously, I love going home and I want to go home and see my family and friends, but here's my home as well, you know, so I want to spend time getting things done around the house. You guys are my friends. I want to spend time and do things with you guys out of work. So just doing a bit of a mix and a match. Half home in Scotland and half home here in Durham.
So we're hoping for little holidays. We were talking about it today. I think it's going to be another summer of staycations again.
I think
summer.
so, yeah.
Craig, it's looking that way. We can go places. It's not the easiest, is it? So yes, I'm hopefully planning. A friend has bought a house down in. A friend has bought a house. Someone that Johnny knows as well. Maybe Johnny will be able to get a little trip down there as well. An ex-colleague of ours, Martha, has bought a house near Newquay in Cornwall.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, you know, I might try and escape there for a few days in August. How gorgeous would that be? And you can fly there from Manchester Airport, which is amazing, Craig. So you don't have to do the 7-hour drive.
That's good.
How amazing is that?
I've only met Martha once and she was lovely to me. Absolutely lovely.
She's fun. She's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You can fly from Teesside to Newquay as well, Craig. I know, amazing. I think it's. Do you not think that it's like a new? It feels like a new thing, like domestic travel in the UK. As in, like,
doesn't it?
Flying. I mean, you'd fly from London to Edinburgh, let's say, or, you know, Aberdeen to London. But the idea of flying from like Birmingham to Newquay, it feels like a really new thing. It feels like we didn't used to do that back in the day. I don't know. It's often cheaper than taking the train, though. That is for sure.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Because the
Huge
trains
difference.
in the UK, my oh my, they are expensive. I'm getting on my soapbox now. I'm going to get down. Return London to Manchester.
Yeah.
Return off peak is £94 for an open return.
What?
For an off peak return for a 2-hour train journey. Crazy, isn't it? So expensive.
That's bonkers. The
Anyway.
world's gone nuts.
It really has. Love that bow, says Alison. Andrea as well, saying gorgeous bow and love the technique too. I know you like your bows, don't you, Craig?
I do. And I like to do them every now and again because there's always that select few, certainly in this building, that don't believe I actually tie them myself. So I like to prove that I do. I do it every single time. Like to prove it. So here we are. So there is my mats and layers all come together. The last one we need to do now is our sentiment. Now we can go round. Now this sentiment, I have done it onto a bigger piece of Nina card than my original one.
Okay.
But I do quite actually like, I was deciding, trying to decide whether I cut it down or not. I actually like all of that open space, because what I'm also going to do, if we come in now with my tacky glue once again, because we're going on to glitter. So anything that's a textured surface, because I do prefer my dry glue. For instance, that is our tape runner, or you know what I'm like, most of the time I'll use my double-sided tape. That's my preference. But that just means that when it comes to anything texturous, over time it could potentially fall off. So that's why I do like to add my tacky glue.
Do you think if you win Male Craft Personality of the Year, we'll get a reworking of Craftman Craig from Ben with, like, you know, a special bonus verse or something?
Oh, I don't want to think about it. It would be an absolute.
I wonder if there's actually like
incredible.
I wonder if there's actually a do, like you go somewhere.
There used to be.
There used to be an event. I mean, before the pandemic, there definitely was. So I wonder if there'll be one this year where you actually get to go, you know, pick up the award in person, Craig. Wear your shiny shirt. It'd be amazing.
No, you're all right. I'll look a bit better if that was the case.
Are you saying that your shiny shirt doesn't look good?
It's good for the foil press.
I think, you know. Is it? I don't think it is too. I mean, we were saying obviously we're going to wear our shirts tonight because it's very warm today. I don't think it is too hot in the studio. Do you?
I think it is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Craig has spoken. There you are. I mean, I was up for it. Joyce says,
I never say I'm not up for it. We'll see what the temp's like later.
Oh, that's all right. No need to be so defensive about it. I mean, I am loving. It's very, very hot in the UK. It's actually quite nice in the studio today, isn't it? It's quite cool in the studio today, which is lovely. Joy says, I'm in the US, but I definitely voted. You guys deserve the honour. Everyone at CC goes above and beyond for us, especially during quarantines. Yes, absolutely. I think we definitely want to. We definitely want to. We want to win them all, Craig. I was trying to be some way humble and saying, vote for us in all of them. Actually, we won all 11. It'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Rebecca says, I was able to vote just now. I Googled crafts, beautiful awards, and it was there. First one came up, clicked in, and it was all downhill from there. There you are. Amazing.
Perfect. There you go. Now, let me just explain these bits here, just so that you're on the same lines. So what we've got is our actual card blank that we've created. Now on the center part, what we've done is we've put our mat and layer with our Santa Claus. Within the bottom part here, let's go in with our mats and layers with the ivory and the glitter card. So we can go in straight in with this one. So let's go all the way around. And we're going to bring in our foam pads next. So let's pop that one on. So we can come in, so let's bring in my foam pads here. Let's go, and I've got some bigger ones here. Here we go. So I've got some bigger foam pads. So if we bring this panel in, and then we're going to layer this one up. So I like to cross over my ribbon to make it extra secure. So we can cross them ones on. And then let's layer these up. Do another couple more. So this can then go into our card. So let's pop these bits off. What I'm going to do is then now, I'm going to come down maybe about 2/3 of the way. And I'm going to press that into place here. Now what we can then do is, that's the inside done. We just need to come and add our bow just shortly. But that's the inside done. So let's then flip onto the front side. We can then come back in now with our main layer that we've already done. And I'm going to go in with my tape runner. And we can then add that in here. That can then get sandwiched straight over the top because of the way that we guided it together. And then let's press that into place. So what we can then, so we'll hold that in. So what we can then do is bring in our sentiment. And this is what I'm loving, because from my original one, I've gone bigger, which I like that. It's kind of like it's holding the sentiment in. We can bring one of these ones in. So what we can do is go back to our foam pads. So let's add one there and one there. And that these little accent stamping dies, these ones, these are so good to start framing your projects. So for instance, what we're going to do with this one is let's trim my pads here, because I want it to then sit nicely, hug it nicely into that corner. So I'm going to bring my foam pad in so that it's going to sit into there, but what I'm also going to do is pop a little bit of adhesive here so it all holds into place. So if I press that one here, we can then flip back into this part here. Let's bring in a little floral spray here. Let's bring in our ribbon. Now, because I am going to be moving it about to show you, at home I would have used my glue gel, but because, as I say, we're going to be moving it about, I'm going to use my hot glue, although you can use your hot glue if you want. What I'm going to do is, because this is quite free-flowing, I'm going to tip it up slightly, and I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue underneath. That's going to secure it. Don't worry about this little adhesive blob, because that's going to be hidden with our hot glue. So that one can then sit nicely here. So if I pop that one there, I'm actually going to trim these a little bit shorter. Let's trim that one. Let's trim that one. Put that one here. Let's go in now with our final one. Let's add a pad on with this one. You might want to use glue gel for these floral bits, that's up to yourself.
Gemma Swift says, Joe, my daughter was coming home to Manchester from where she lives in London a few weeks ago. £218 return. She didn't bother. There you go.
I know why.
I'd have gone and picked her up and bought her up for £218.
I think there would have been a lot of offers for that.
Yeah.
Now let's tuck that one underneath there. Now all that I need to do now to finish off, Joe, is I've taken some of my hunky-dory pearls and I'm going to come in again. As many of you already know by now, I like to add a little bit of tacky glue as well, just to hold them into place. I'm going to go and do 3 in this corner, 3 in that corner, and that's going to be me done.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. And remember, if you're crafting along in real time and you are finished or you're finishing now, absolutely snap us a picture and send them over to us. You can email them to studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send them to, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and we'll share them either in this show. If we don't get a chance to share them in this show, we'll share them in the later Craft House show, Craig? So
yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll share them then as well. Of course, Craft House this evening with myself and Craig, which is going to be loads of fun. It's a Foil Press 101 show. That'll be at 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. if you're across on the East Coast. So make sure you come and join us both for that. Victoria says, Craig, is there still tape on the card? I'm not sure.
No, this bit, you're maybe seeing this bit here. It's just a little bit of the imprint from the tape earlier.
What size of centurial pearl was the base? My centurial pearl isn't that long. It was A3. Was it 7 inches by 15 inches, the
That's
base
right,
piece?
yeah.
And then scored at 5 inches and 5 inches.
Yep.
See, I do listen sometimes, Craig. I guess if you didn't have that, could you do a 10 by 7 piece and another 10 by 7 piece, score them both at 5 inches, and then stick the middle piece together and create the easel that way if you wanted to?
Of course you could, absolutely. Yeah, you could.
If you only had A4.
If you don't have A3, then you can do that.
Awesome.
What I'll do is, just very quickly, Johnny, this will literally take me a minute or two. Let's show you, because maybe at the moment you'll think, well, Craig, where would I write? So let's do a little bit of an insert on the back.
A backsert.
Backsert.
Yeah.
So because that panel is 5 by 7, also that will then cover any of the little adhesive shadows that you can see. So that's 5 by 7. So let's take a piece of our ivory cream card. We're going to cut it 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Let's take a piece of our Nina, or it could be any other cardstock that you've got. Let's cut this to 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. We can then mat and layer that over the top. So let's add our adhesive here. So I've not done this with my original one, but I'm doing this to show you how easy it is to create a back of an insert, or this could easily have been on an inside if you wanted to. Instead of using the Santa paper, you could have used this. So if we come in now, let's pop that on the back. Now you then bring in one of your sentiment stamps, stamp that into the middle, maybe a sentiment topper or something, and then there we go. There is, let's just give that an extra burnish. So let's burnish that one in, that one, and then that one, and then there we go.
That is absolutely incredible, Craig. One of my favourite craft alongs, that.
There you go. So a lot of detail to this one here, specifically then I done it purposely to help you overcome maybe issues that you've got, like how do you cut into the corner but then also still get your mats and layers in that. So I really tried to hammer in technique tips throughout within this one here. But then there we go. So from start to end, including the colouring, everything that we've done within, well, gosh, we've kind of timed that right, haven't we? Timed that really, really well with that floral spray.
We'll give everyone a little chance to get themselves caught up then, Craig. Whilst you do that, let me share with you all the details on how you can watch and shop and also Club Inspire. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easy to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
So many of you absolutely loving that craft along. Andrea says beautiful card. Rose says gorgeous card. Pam loves it too, as does Merlin. Jeanette saying, where's the time gone? Another beautiful demo. And Craig, thanks to you all to you all for a wonderful day. Evelyn says such a different type of card, so really enjoyed it. Renee loved all the tips as well as the card as well. And Lydia saying a gorgeous, gorgeous creation. Diane saying she's definitely going to steal some of the ideas that Craig shared with us. I'll just quickly run you back through the main collection that we have on the show. It is the Christmas Floral Spray Stamp and Die collection. Really great because it's an awesome collection of imagery in the stamps, but I also love how the outside edge on the die is sort of separated, so you've got options, cut it out the left side, the right side, or all the way out, so it means you've got the most amount of options when it comes to putting these together. So this one here is the ring out the bells. You've also then got your winter blessings. Each one of these has also got sentiments in here too, which will mix and match beautifully. Then you've got the festive poinsettia there. This one is your Christmas bow. There's the festive banner. And then we also have the Cozy by Candlelight there for you as well. 57.56 or 65.09. Remember though, if you're spending £30, dollars or euros, you'll save £10, dollars or euros. You can only use it once per customer, but it will all be done and organised at checkout for you. So you should automatically see that discount, which is amazing. I want to go back to these colour blend pencils. I want to just show you, I mean, loads of you are going for them in this show. Brilliant price for you already on these. It's a half price deal. You get all 5 collections, so it's a complete set for you. But remember, if you're a platinum member with that extra £10 or dollars, you get them for $39.60. Unbelievable. Or $59.60 if you're in the US. Let me share with you some of the things that have been done with these, because they are quite incredible. Whether you want to use them on dark cardstock or light cardstock, but they work so well adding detail to your alcohol markers. So you can use them on their own, but look when you add, it's the depth that they somehow give you, the warmth that they give you is amazing. These ones here particularly that I want to share with you now, have a look at this, because that, look, it's fair to say that's beautiful, isn't it, with the alcohol colouring. Absolutely gorgeous, but look what happens when you add the colour blend pencils into there. Really does give it so much extra depth, which is beautiful. This one just here, again, beautiful as alcohol marker, but when you add those pencils into there, really does make a whole lot of difference. This one here as well, that looks amazing. However, bring those pencils in, and look how it transforms it. It's almost like it goes HD, isn't it? And again, some of the things that have been drawn on here, I love because they're wax-based, you get that gorgeous shine on them as well. Some really, really awesome pieces of art created just with those colour blend pencils. And let me just quickly share with you again exactly what you are going to receive in there. So this is how they'll come to you. This one here is your naturals, things like your forest green, your alpine, your grass in there. Beautiful, beautiful quality. Loads of you absolutely adore using them. Wonderful wax-based pigment. You can use them with a blending solution if you like. You can use them without a blending solution. It's completely up to you. So that's the naturals, and then you'll also receive the other 4 tins too. So you've got the essentials, which are all of these ones here. Then you've got your florals here. This one is your primaries, and then you've got the shades and tones in there as well. A really, really wonderful collection of colours there. And remember, spending 30, you'll save an extra 10. You can only use it once, so make sure you build your basket when you do that. The ink pads, we've got some great water reactive ink pads. We've just restocked a lot of ink pads, which is excellent because it means now we're back to having a full complement of a lot of the colours. So what we're able to do is give you some of the most popular colours in this collection. Baby blue, Chinese red, grasshopper, lemon tonic, misty morning, pale fig, pine tree, pink tulip, sandstorm, and also seal brown in there for you as well, which is excellent. Lots of you talking about how awesome you thought the craft along was. Craig, I would expect nothing less than a smashingly gorgeous card from the male crafter of the world. There's an accolade. Lynn says, lovely card. Janine says, what a beautiful card. Thank you for the tips. Deborah Ward loved the card as well. Some people, Craig, have sort of crafted along with you, done a sort of similar style card, but maybe sort of, you know, gone their own way with it a little bit. Pam Craven has sent this one in. She's used the same pad as you, but she's kind of just mixed it up a bit.
Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So yeah, run along the same themed layout as I done, but mixed it up slightly with the own dyes. Love that style.
Really beautiful. Barbara has sent this one in as well.
Look at that. So again, yeah, using a different stamp and die. Actually, I think that's one from quite a wee while ago. But yeah, following that same idea as well, changing the layout slightly. But again, that is what the craft along's all about. Whether you're going to copy us and replicate exactly what we do, that's what it's all about. But if you maybe want to go in another direction, but just craft along with us, do your own style, that's what it's all about as well. Good for you guys. Love that.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful, beautiful creations there for you. Now, don't forget what's coming up for the rest of the day. Craft House will be back. Myself and Craig will be here with a foiling 101. What sort of things are we going to be focusing on for that show, Craig?
So what we're going to do, it is all about the foil press. It's a foil press dedicated show with selective items with some incredible deals. But what we're going to do, instead of focusing on demos of such each deals, what we're going to do is we've changed it slightly and we're going to call it, or we have been calling it the Foil Press 101. So we'll use what's on the show, but what we'll do is we'll do different techniques. We'll show you some of the questions that you ask quite a lot. We'll answer them. Anything that you want to know about the foil press, you need help, you can't remember what to do, let us know and we will spend the 2 hours helping you as much as we can when it comes to the foil press.
Absolutely, yes. Make sure you get your questions in for us for that. Tomorrow, George is going to be here with you for the first 2 shows. We'll be up with Soft Side Life with Bernie, midday in the UK, 7 a.m. East Coast, 4 a.m. West Coast. They've got lots of fabric.